fellow citizens of the world. We are anonymous.
It's incredible. Internet kill switches, cybersecurity, the takeover of the web, warrantless wiretapping. This is America 10 years after 9/11, and it has nothing to do with keeping us safe.
Well, we are living in a world, folks, where so often science fiction is becoming science fact.
She has the stones with her. Mondo's you. All we have to do is send someone to get the... Excellent.
There's this guy, defense contractor, that works for Opcoast. They're at Point Pleasant, New Jersey.
Who is doing this?
Who's actually doing this? He's been experimental. Well, yeah, you tell me what he's been experimental.
Well, he took a bunch of cockroaches and he hooked up little radios and microphones and all sorts of circuitry to these little bugs. And the plan is you can get these cockroaches in there, pick up sounds on the microphone, then they take it, they transmit it back to the radio, go someplace else.
10 years ago, biometrics, robotic spies, and state surveillance were the makings of a sci-fi flick starring Tom Cruise.
Set up a perimeter and tell them we're en route.
Today, many scenes from the Hollywood blockbuster Minority Report have arguably become an American reality, with life ominously imitating art.
You're walking down the street, and the camera that takes a picture of you is able to compare it through facial mapping, is able to compare it to your driver's license photo or some other photo, maybe a mugshot, maybe a surveillance photo, and say, all right, Marina was on the corner of 42nd and 8th at 3 o'clock last Saturday.
It almost looks like a scene from the science fiction movie Minority Report. A New Jersey city is going to start marking people with a red light before they might commit a crime. The police chief in East Orange is embracing it as the latest pre-crime law enforcement technique. The directed red lights will be attached to existing surveillance cameras and can shoot a light beam a full city block away. Every patrol car gets a live feed from all the city's surveillance cameras.
Sitting uncomfortably? Good. Feeling hot flashes across your face? Great. Involuntary facial movements? Nice. Let's begin. Some people can beat the old-fashioned polygraph test, so the lie detector's getting a makeover. No more wiring up suspects to complicated equipment, just 2 cameras hidden from view. One watching for odd facial tics, the second camera a thermal one searching for signs of someone getting hot under the collar. Scientists hoping to put it to work in the next couple of years.
So this is straight out of Minority Report. The government is now testing something known as future attribute screening technology. It's basically a piece of technology that would monitor every single aspect of your body to decide whether or not you could possibly commit a crime in the future.
So understand what's happening. FAST stands for Future Attribute Screening Technology. Future attributes, not the attributes you have now, the attributes you're gonna have and will be punished for later.
It will monitor, among other things, body movements, voice pitch changes. It'll also look at eye movements, body heat changes, and breathing patterns. And they're gonna use all this information to try to predict whether or not you're gonna commit a crime in the future, okay?
So watch out how you move your eyes, and if you're breathing too hard, it might cause you a problem. Look, we're not kidding around, okay? And this sounds like something that can't happen, but it can. It's incredibly real.
Some critics say this is nothing more than the watchful eye of Big Brother, keeping track of your every moment.
Your attention, please.
That voice you hear,
your attention, please,
came from this streetlight.
Please stand by for a public safety announcement.
LED video screens and cameras add to the wireless infrastructure that is remotely controlled.
This is a security alert.
And it even counts people for police.
When I come into view of that streetlight, when I look at that camera, the person on the other side sees the white specks and the black marks, sensing that somebody's there. And if they want, they can even take my picture.
The system is also capable of recording conversations, and by spring of next year, there is a good chance you could see them popping up in your city.
The first of these light poles will sit on 10 Mile Road just east of Orchard Lake Road. Harwood already has orders from cities across Metro Detroit, Chicago, Pittsburgh, and he's working with Homeland Security.
Federal grants to your local town, talking light poles, but also light poles that you don't know are listening to you, all going back to a central system. Talking surveillance cameras coming to U.S. streets, IntelliStreet system now being installed on DHS backing.
We know governments are quietly using face scanning cameras on street corners and in airports, and they have license plate scanners.
Like everybody else on television, you see it, you know the technology's out there.
Sensors attached to the top of patrol cars instantly read the license plates of all vehicles the car passes. A monitor shows a picture of the car owner and whether they are on any lists, whether that's a terror watch list or they have an outstanding parking ticket.
It scans, I average about between 1,500 and 2,000 license plates a day. And since it's always scanning, I can plug that in and it'll tell me where that vehicle's been seen. It'll show me each time it's been seen if I've run into it multiple times. And it'll, bring up Google Maps and give you a punch pin where the vehicle was spotted.
I tried to log back into Facebook and it wouldn't let me. It wanted me to identify myself not with my passcode, but by showing me obscure pictures of my friends and family. I had the feeling that it had something to do with testing their face recognition technology. And then I saw this article in the Wall Street Journal. They know who these people are and what their names are, and they want you to confirm it for them. Sure, the security measure confirms who I am, but it also confirms for them who my friends and family are.
In addition to facial recognition, New York City's police department is just one of many law enforcement agencies that also requires citizens to undergo an iris scan before being released from police custody. In the past 6 months, iris scans have been taken from hundreds of Occupy Wall Street activists placed under arrest. Iris scans are like a high-tech fingerprint, but much faster. Officials can quickly identify anyone whose unique scan is on the database. The technology is becoming increasingly useful as a tracking tool in the U.S.
Department of Homeland Security is developing new laser-based scanners that are going to be used to identify any chemical substance in or on your body from as far as 50 meters away.
Scanner can be shot at you as far as 164 feet away and pick up every molecule on you and in you. They'll know things like what you had for breakfast, or the level of adrenaline pumping through your veins.
It's a total invasion of privacy beyond Minority Report levels. The laser can detect traces of drugs or gunpowder on your clothes, to what you had for breakfast, to the adrenaline level in your body.
The company that invented it even claims the scanner can be used to detect a single cell of cancer in your body. Am I the only one concerned that a laser that strong can cause cancer in your body?
The horrible people that invented this technology were subcontracted by In-Q-Tel to work with the U.S. Department of Homeland Security back in November of 2011. What's In-Q-Tel, you ask? It's a company founded in February of 1999 by a group of private citizens at the request of the director of the CIA and with the support of the U.S. Congress. I feel safer already, except what if I was hanging out with my stoner pal Owen before I went to LAX to visit Meemaw Kitty, and some skunky residue from secondhand exposure ends up on my Adventure Time t-shirt, and all of a sudden I'm being pulled in by some jerky security dude for questioning, and I miss my flight, and Meemaw ends up choking on a Werther's Original because of this insane scary laser from hell. Okay, maybe that's crazy talk, but it's definitely something to think about in regards to how much enforcement will go into taking people down or bringing them in for questioning because I got a poppy seed stuck in my teeth. But how much is enough for them to pull you aside?
According to Homeland Security, the government plans to install these guys at airports, sports stadiums, police cars, and subways starting in 2013. So get ready for the end of privacy.
In the virtual world of tweets, Facebook posts, and search engines, every internet user is defined by a data footprint. If you think anonymous comments and blogs are protected, think again. Through the use of what's called forensic linguistics, U.S. investigators can now uncover whose fingers are behind every single keystroke.
If I have a large enough sample of your writing and your posting, I can take it and compare it. I can input it into a database and send that database a bot out using that information finding every other post you ever did.
The digital data trail of every American will soon be connected to a massive building in Utah. A $2 billion data center is reportedly being constructed for the U.S. National Security Agency. The complex will allegedly be able to collect, analyze, and store all forms of personal communication, including online purchases, cell calls, Google searches, and yes, private messages.
They're actually looking at de-encrypting all of the data that comes out. So, for example, when you use Gmail, all your emails are encrypted by default. Google has given you this service and has allowed you to say, my communications are protected. Now, the NSA's center is designed around building systems that will de-encrypt that data and remove any protection that you can put onto it.
Earlier this month, CIA Director David Petraeus painted a picture of America's dystopian freefall when describing the emergence of the Internet of Things.
U.S. intelligence officials estimate that by 2020, up to 100 billion ordinary devices, such as refrigerators and dishwashers, could be wired up to the internet, just the way PCs and cell phones are now.
Questions about whether the CIA could spy on people through their refrigerators.
Now they are putting in chips into household appliances that could then be tracked later. So your fridge, maybe your microwave, your stove, your dishwasher.
You can't make this up. I saw this. I thought it was one of these crazy emails that we all get in this business.
Some blogger.
From over the weekend, but he said it, and he's the director of the CIA.
The CIA is not supposed to collect evidence or do anything in the United States. That's the job of the FBI.
Folks, it's illegal for the CIA to even operate domestically.
Now, the CIA isn't supposed to work inside the United States. Oh, that's long gone. They claim because of an interpretation of a 2008 law that was passed, the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act, they say, no, because of the way that it got amended in 2008, it's okay. The CIA can go nuts inside the country, and they can track all of your household appliances, let alone everything else, and they can track American citizens as long as you're a person of interest. In the old days, a person of interest was supposed to be somebody who's a terrorist. In the new days, innocent American citizens, on the odd chance they might at some point do something wrong.
They need a search warrant for that, don't they?
Yes, they do. The government needs a search warrant to come in your home.
But, you know, if they could come collect whatever they want illegally, unless they use it to try to prosecute or to try to affect some end, we might never even know.
That's the regrettable and sad part about this. Unless the evidence that they obtain is used in court or in some public way, we will never know what they have obtained from us.
The CIA doesn't know when you're going to go buy a refrigerator or a microwave, right? So they're going to put these chips in all of the appliances.
Yes.
All of us are people of interest, okay? It's not like they're going to pick and choose, like you go to work and they're going to break into your house and put the chip in the refrigerator. No, all of these appliances are going to have this chip in there that collects all this data.
Now, you don't need probable cause, you don't need a warrant. All these devices go in everybody's home. So you're automatically a person of interest. Since there's never any consequences anymore, he's so brazen about it. He says this is going to prompt a rethink of our, quote, our notions of identity and secrecy. Understand what he's saying there? Exactly what Anna said. Our notion of identity. In the past, we had to target people who we thought were doing something wrong. Well, we have rethought our notion of identity. Now everybody's a suspect.
I ain't got no chip in my stuff.
Right.
Guarantee you.
Same here.
As far as you know.
As far as I know, you're right. I mean, that's the troubling aspect of this. We don't know where the computer chips are, and we don't know who in the government is doing what with